Oh, I lied to myself. You learn all this. You work in this field for 20 years, and you like totally amazed. There is actually a species specific diet, and even for humans.
Thomas, how did you find carnivore?
Well, yeah, that I started 2 years ago, and I think I was your Christmas or your New Year baby interview last year, and I do nothing scientifically. I'm my own scientific experiment. I saw this on the internet, and I thought, oh well, sounds like something I should try. Very skeptical about it, like everybody was, but I kept on it, and I found it very easy. I'm one of these lucky people. I think the carnivore diet was just made for me. I'm the world's laziest cook, so dehorning a cow, wiping its butt, putting it on the fire, eating it when it stops moving is just perfect for me. Yeah? So I really cannot say that I had any trouble starting it. And within the first 6 months, I think I lost 60 pounds. And I was riddled with gout and joint pain. It was probably arthritis and whatever. Uh, Drank a lot of painkillers for that, and that all stopped. That I have had not got had a heart attack now for over 2 years. So that in itself is amazing. You know? So and then I went on with my self experiment, and I thought, oh well, you know, and then I watched your channel, and then people tell me what happened to them, and I thought, oh yeah, that's true. That's also gone. That's not here anymore. That's and it's just amazing. And then the first 6 months on this carnival, even the first year, you're so excited, and you talk to everybody about it, and you want them to start, and you find out that they're not interested. They're just waiting for you to keel over and tell you, "I told you so." Your cholesterol, your heart attack, your previously unknown STD or whatever it is. And the amazing part this year that I know 3 people that have started on the sly, just watching me and seeing that I didn't keel over. Yeah. So I had 2 nurses down the road. Yeah. I see them. There's a couple that both of them are nurses, and they had some misfortunes as well. And I never mentioned it. They know I'm on carnivore. I was just a crazy dude, the neighbor on just on meat. Yeah. And they came to see me, I think 4 or 5 days ago, and they said, "No, we started carnivore." And they're now full-blown carnivore for I think a month, they said. And before that, they started reducing. They did the clever thing, not like me, that just started. They reduced, because I did. To be honest, the first 6 months, I didn't have a stomach anymore. I had a cannonball factory. Yeah, so I did have to deal with a little bit of constipation, but that's all clear now, and I'm as regular as anything. And so they did that, and he told me, I know he's very epileptic, and he told me that he has had not had a fit for a month. So I find
So
that
he's
amazing.
epileptic.
Yeah, he's epileptic. He actually had to stop driving about a year ago because it actually happened to him while he was driving. So he has to be driven everywhere. I think he says about good 3 times a week he will have a fit. And he says he had not had a fit in a month. Now, they also had other adversaries, which is their son died about a year ago. Very misfortunate accident. 16-year-old kids playing with an air rifle, and he just got shot in the right place and passed away. Yeah. So she took that and I haven't seen her as stable in a long time. She came and sat here and talked sense and didn't go mad about it. And I thought, wow, yeah, this carnival diet really, really works. And every time I look at it, because sometimes I'm thinking, I'm just a freak of nature. It just works for me, but it seems to work for everybody. Yeah. And then I had a friend of mine. I think I talked to him about last time, Ian. Who also started on this line, and he actually wanted to come on to this, but unfortunately, he also had an accident, and he passed away about a month ago. And but the benefits he got was unreal. He also said within 8 months the change in him was unreal. He was a plumber. So, I saw him a few times going up ladders, and you're thinking, gee, I used to crawl up ladders like that, like one leg at a time, and then lift the other one and try and hope your knee doesn't break. And yeah, next thing I saw him going up and down like it was nothing. Yeah. So that was quite an eye opener, and his death for me was an eye opener. That is something I can honestly say that I do believe that this is the human diet to be on. The mental clarity I had through this, well, pretty much ordeal, and to deal with all that, well, I don't think I've ever had that. That you don't panic, you don't, you do your thing, yeah. And if anybody out there has any, look, I never, I can't, even on your channel, I can sometimes relate to people that talk about depression and that I just never been depressed. But I understand now that having this mental capacity and a clear sense of mind that the human diet, and I firmly believe now that the human diet is a meat-based diet, gives you that tool in your toolbox to deal with all that. Yeah, this is it was quite amazing. Yeah, even to me, as it happening to me, I like sometimes looking, wow, how come I think so rationally? Yeah, and it's really, really, I do believe it. I have a new sympathy, empathy, and sympathy for people with mental disability or mental illness, mental health that I never had the affinity before. You hear it and you clap your hands and you say, "Oh, great for you," but you don't know what they're really talking about. Yeah? And now I do know, and I encourage everybody to start. To start if they deal with that. Yeah, it was quite amazing. This was horrific an incident, and no uh, Quentin Tarantino Kill Bill movie death scene can prepare for something like that. This was a curveball. Right? Wow, where did this come from? Yeah, and you have to deal with it. And I don't know if I would have dealt with it without this diet. Yeah, so it's
This was the you're talking about the death of your friend?
yeah, yeah. He burned to
Mm.
death in a bushfire. Yeah. He
Oh,
was burned. He had 60% third-degree burn of his body and passed away about a week later. So, and witnessing something like that is horrific. Yeah. So, as I said, you think seen it all, but that was a curveball. I thought, wow, that's something new. Yeah. So, and you have to, you have to be alert. You have to react. You have to and carry on type of thing. There's things to do, and I thought, wow, I was impressed myself that I could do this. And I firmly believe now that this diet really, really helped me through all this, yeah? and made me think rationally and carry on. And yeah, no, it has been an eye opener, and what this diet is all good for. I don't even see it as a diet anymore. It's just a way of life for me. I was so lucky that this diet was made for me. This is like, I always liked meat. I ate the other. A lot of people say, "Oh no, I'm addicted to carbs." I wasn't addicted to carbs or sugar. I was addicted to easy meals and the convenience. And I find it very convenient to, man. I bought a air fryer, put a piece of meat in there for 50 minutes and eat it. It can't get easier than that. Yeah. I didn't need the hamburger. I just ate it because it was convenient. And I found that's my biggest weakness, that convenience, was because I'm such a lazy cook. And this was tailor made for me. I started and never looked back, I never changed really um, on my diet. I have this thing, and I know you're going to ask me what do I eat per day, so I'm going to actually tell you what I eat per day. And today I had liver. And why I had liver is because about every 8 months, I slaughter a cow. I eat that cow from head to tail, and there's offal, and there's everything, and there's a piece of liver. Now, the liver gives me about three, depends how pick the cow was 3 to 4 days of meals in that 8 months. And today was a liver day. So and the offal gives me about 3 weeks of meals. Nothing gets wasted. I eat it all. And that's how scientific I go about it. So how often do I have liver? As long as that cow lasts 8 months. Yeah. So that I'm not pedantic about it. I just don't enjoy a lot of things anymore. Like everybody's, oh, don't you miss a bit of garlic? No, not really. I don't. I ate salad because everybody told me it's healthy. Yeah. Even if a salad is healthy, I mean, we kill it. Nobody eats a salad. We eat salad dressing. Yeah, and but if even by pure miracle this salad is healthy, we have killed it with all the stuff we put on it anyway. Yeah, and I've seen nobody walk into a shop and take a iceberg salad and bite into it and say, "Ooh, delicious." Yeah, so we lie to ourselves. We don't need doctors to lie to us. Yeah, so uh, that's why I take this whole as an experiment, and I must say the experiment has been a success. I am absolutely in marvel of what I can do nowadays, what I can achieve, and it's also difficult. I know that my environment is totally different to somebody like you in the city or something. Yeah. And the other day, I read this thing about grounding. I walk around with no shoes. Well, I do that every day. I think I do. I own a pair of shoes somewhere, but I don't never have shoes on because this is my environment. Yeah, this is so. Yeah, it is difficult to sometimes explain to somebody in the city like it's actually quite easy and actually quite cheap for me. Yeah, I slaughter a cow every 8 months, and that's it. Yeah. Yes, that's it. If I look at it, feeding it and all that, maybe it cost me $500 somewhere around there, but that's every 8 months. Yes, now
Wow.
it's expensive. No, if I turn that out per meal per day, it's nothing. Yeah, and I think even people in town can look for farmers that would do that for them. Yeah, um, and it's really oh no, I cannot praise it enough, and I hope people, especially in the mental health, now that I had this experiment, please go and give it a try. Yeah, that
Mm.
is amazing. Mm.
So, like in one day, you're just eating the beef one time, or do you have multiple meals?
I'd usually eat, I would say, 80% one time and 20% twice. I do not starve myself. If I'm hungry, I'm hungry. If I'm not hungry, I usually am quite a glutton, and I can put away 2 pounds of ground beef if I have to. So then it's obviously a 1 day meal. That's it. Then I'm done for. So I'm doing the fasting without even knowing I'm doing fasting. It's just that I couldn't eat anymore. It's also I'm very active work-wise and all that. So I don't try and say, oh, I will eat at 2 o'clock. I will eat at 3 o'clock. No, I eat when I have time. I don't want to change my routines and my anything for any way of life and diet because that may make it a burden and I will stop. If they tell me, oh, you have to eat at 4 o'clock and you have to have a piece of meat with a piece of bacon and oh God no. I eat when I can and that's it. And I've done that for 2 years. I still do coffee and I still do cream. It does not affect me. It seems like it. So the moment, while I'm a carnivore, I'm not a saint. So I keep on with that. Yeah, I enjoy it. And dairy itself, I ate a lot of cheese in the beginning. No, not so much anymore. Bacon, I left completely. Funny enough. Um, And chicken, I don't eat at all. I just, not that I don't like it. I don't think it just gives me what I need, and I don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of the water of meats, you know. It's
yeah, it has got no taste. It's got no. I eat a whole chicken and I'm hungry. I don't know why. It just doesn't do it. I have a weird taste sometimes. sometimes think I'm pregnant. I had about 3 months. I needed chili. I needed chili. I had and not just a little pipsqueak chili. No, habanero on my meat. I do handstands in the shower because it burns that much here. But I need it, and then I'm done for 3 months. It's weird. And I don't know. Maybe there's something in the chili I needed. I'm not sure. But and I never ate hot meat. And hot foods. I'm quite amazed about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, it your taste buds change completely over that course of time. Uh, do I was actually asked now with this bit of mess we had here. If I thought about eating anything else, and if I would start comfort eating, sit in front of the TV with a tub of ice cream and cry myself to sleep, never had that thought. Never even crossed my mind. It's amazing that that's just not what I do. Yeah. And so there was never the thing, will I revert back to it? No, I don't. That's it.
Mhm.
I'm stuck on this. Yeah.
So
And
did
shame
you
there.
ever have a sweet tooth?
Yes, I did. I did. I think well, Coke was my sweet tooth. Yeah, I bought a Coke every day, and most of the time with a packet of chips or a little slab of chocolate with it. Yeah, yeah. I don't know if it was a sweet tooth or it was a habit because I don't miss it at all. Never missed it. Yeah. And shame there's this old lady next door when we had all this mess. They all know I'm carnivore. She doesn't think I'm eating correctly, and can she invite me for a meal? And she knows I'm a carnivore, so she made curry and rice because this apparently is now a carnivore meal. Yeah. So I didn't explain to her. I thought it was very sweet. Luckily, she didn't mix the rice with the curry, so I only ate the curry. Yes, there were some green and red bits floating in it. I survived it. But I thought it was so sweet and that they're really trying hard to. It's just very difficult to explain to them. Actually, just means meat. Yeah, for them, this is outlandish, really curry and rice. So that was
It's
good.
so difficult for people to understand. But just meat? Don't like,
Just
d
meat. Yeah, yeah,
you mean
yeah. I
just
mean,
meat? It's
lasagna is a carnivore meal to them. Yeah, they look at the amount of meat in there. Well, he tried to explain, it just doesn't work. Yeah. So yeah, I learned to relax on that. I used to be quite uh, pedantic about it, and then I know, okay, this happens once every 6 or 7 months. So yes, if there's a red thing floating in it, I will survive it. Yeah, but I never make anything a habit. Nothing is a habit. Yeah, even if I go out and they put garlic on the meat, it's fine. I eat it, and that will happen maybe every 4 months or 5 months. So it doesn't seem to hurt me. I have not felt any difference on it. But as I say, nothing is a habit. Usually, the week is pure meat, salt, pure meat and salt and offal. I eat the cow complete. I eat it from head to tail, all the offal, heart, lungs, liver, brains, you name it, gets eaten. Even the bones get cracked and the marrow gets taken out. And so I'm not. I try not to be wasteful. And somehow unscientifically, I think this is the way we're meant to eat. That we eat the whole thing. We don't. Not only the good parts. There's some bad parts and some you hold your nose, but you eat it. Yeah. And like I'm not a very favorite from the heart, but I'll make a stew out of it. Close peg on the nose, and off you go. Yeah, and
yeah,
it nourishes you. And feeds you. Yeah. Mm.
yeah. So, you're keeping cattle on your property?
Yeah, I had a few. I've actually sold them all now. They're all gone, luckily. But I mean, I'm surrounded by cattle, so even if I buy I will get back again. It was just the season where I need to get new stock. You can't line breed all that time. You need new breeds, and I thought this is a good time. Let's start from scratch. So I will have cattle again next year. Actually, yeah, next year. We're nearly there. And but at the moment, I actually just bought one from my farmer. I think he charged me like 8,000, 9,000 rand. which is what, thousand $1,000 a month. Yeah, a small one. I still have to heat it up a little bit, and then
Wow. Okay.
it goes into the freezer. Yeah,
So just to go back a little bit, to explore a little bit more about, your 3 friends that went carnivore
yeah.
based on the results they saw with you. What was we talked about this a little bit offline, but what was the way that they were encouraged to do it? Was it you talking to them about it, or is it just because they saw your results, or
I
how
I
did they?
I I I stopped talking about it last year. I think I was about 7 months into carnivore, and I saw I'm not. Nobody cares. Yeah, and I just did nothing. Ian was very supportive of me in the carnivore diet. He would never eat anything else but meat in my presence. He thought most probably he would encourage me. He saw that I'm doing better, and it was really nice of him to do that. And but I never really. I just said, "Oh, I feel much better," and all that. And then all of a sudden he says, "Yeah, no, I bought a whole lamb, and I bought half a cow, and I thought, and I slaughtered a pig, and I slaughtered a goat." And I said, "Why? What are you doing? Are you waiting for the world to end this or whatever?" He said, "No, I'm full on carnivore now." So I said, "Wow, how come?" And he says, "No, I just seen you doing better." I never encouraged him, and I said, well, I did encourage him. I said, "You should try," but it didn't bother me if he did or not. Yeah, and he just started. The two friends, the two nurses, I hardly see. Um, they actually, the daughter and the husband of the daughter of a dear friend of mine. So I see them very little, and they came around and talked about it. And they said, "No, no, we know, and we do it as well." I said, "Wow, yeah." I mean, I hardly talk to them. We know each other, we're friendly, but nothing, And I thought it's amazing, and they started, and I think as I say, they must probably just waited a year or two, see if I would keel over, and I told you so, and it didn't happen. The funny part is on Tuesday when they came around, they brought the blood pressure machine. And the first time of my life, I can remember in 30 years, I had my blood pressure taken because that was one of their concerns. And well, didn't turn out the way they wanted. I'm still not dead. I was 123 over 80 with a heartbeat of 65. So I don't know if they wished for worse or if they were hoping for better. I'm not sure. Yeah. So this is I'm so unscientific. I shouldn't be on your show. I have not been to the doctor in 20 years. I don't even know my blood group. I've never had a blood test in my life. I do not know my cholesterol. I do not know anything. I have no problem, and I don't want a doctor to tell me that I could have a problem in 10 years' time. I live for today. I breathe today, and I need to feel good today. Tomorrow, if I keel over for a heart attack, well, at least I didn't suffer through it. Yeah, for 10 years, stupid. So I do everything so unscientifically. It is scary to think that I'm actually a scientist. So it is. Yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe I just learned not to trust anybody, and I just thought, I'll do this on my own, and I'll be my own experiment. And yeah, no, it has been an absolutely blast. I can really recommend anybody to try that, and it is easier than I thought, uh, especially because you're never hungry. I can eat as much as I want. I think no, it is. But talking about carnivore seems to be put people off. It seems to they want to be right. They actually wish you did in a sense because they want to be right, and we just don't mention it, and they just see you and they're thinking, "Wow, yeah." I mean, everybody 2 years ago I looked like the Michelin Man. Now I'm 160 pounds. Yeah. So, and I'm keeping it that way. That is for most of them amazing that I can actually keep this. Usually it's yo-yo. You lose a few pounds, you back up to 20 the next day.
In some ways, I feel like diet is a little bit like religion or politics, you know? People get so wedded to what they're doing that when if you talk about some kind of alternative method, you know, it's almost offensive to them, you know?
It is offensive, I'm actually embarrassed to say that myself. I am actually a veterinary nutritionist. I work on uh, species-specific diets. I'm actually doing this microbiologist, and I'm thinking I knew all this. I know all this. Why did I never apply it to me? Because you told you're an idiot. You in the veterinary science that is totally different to animals. So don't open your mouth. Yeah, don't do anything. And then once you hear somebody actually explain it to you, you say, but I knew this. Why, so it is funny that in yourself you get so indoctrinated. Oh, no, I keep in my little field, Let me tell you, a dog stomach and our stomach are not that far apart, so that I wouldn't have known the difference. Yeah, but no, you go through life, and I love it when I say to her, I've been lied to. Oh no, I lied to myself. You learn all this. You work in this field for 20 years, and you like totally amazed. There is actually a species-specific diet, and even for humans. Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Yeah. So it's quite
Yeah,
embarrassing. Yeah.
it mu so, yeah, I didn't know that about like, we haven't spoken about that in the previous
Yeah.
interview either. So you're a veterinary nutritionist and
Yeah,
you
we
you've
work. I work mostly on supplement dietary for game animals, where we, it's usually for drought and that. How do we feed them and get them over the bad period of time? And you do a lot of tests on what they need, and the browsers and the ruminants and even to the hyena, what we have to add to get them through. And so that's what I usually work on, and so I'm absolutely. I do know an intestine if I see one. So yeah, why I never related that to the human? Yeah, because you told you can't because I'm not in that field. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, and it's almost like, you know, even if you do find some kind of parallel there while you're studying and you go, "Hang on, well, why do we work differently to this?"
No, we
And,
don't.
there's someone will be saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, just ignore that, look the other way."
Yes, no, they absolutely do. I mean, working in the veterinary field in any science, you always the lower end of the caste membership. You never looked upon that we actually study scientifically more than any opinion. We don't have opinions. It is either like that biology or it's not. To be honest, in my whole 20 years of doing this, I have never taken an animal's cholesterol. Never ever. I took one once, and that was just for pure interest. And that was a few years ago. We took one from a hyena. Now, let me tell you that the hyena's cholesterol level and fat level in his blood, any cardiologist will just keel over and die. That is so saturated. It's actually hard to measure. It's so high. Yes. Now, why don't they die or keel over from? There's a theory about it because of they need that high cholesterol because of that rotten meat they mostly eat. That actually is part of their biome. That they need that to survive. But we don't really know. But I mean, man, oh man, even an elephant, you, their cholesterol levels is so high that it'll. Now I tell you, cardiologists will never believe it. Yeah. Yes, yeah, it is funny, and then in the whole of veterinary, in nutritional studies in veterinary, I have never taken a cholesterol level. I don't care what a cholesterol level of a dog is. It does not take part of it. I know what it's supposed to eat. Yeah, that's all I know. I know it biologically. Uh, so it's weird, and then you actually sit embarrassed here, and you think, I knew all this, and why didn't I just equate it? Yeah.
You know, the interesting thing is when you talk about a dog, right? So you know this, you know what the diet of the dog should be, right?
Yes.
But you put a dog into a regular household and have that dog eating the same, you know, like dog food, and then the occasional bits of food that, you know, snacks and whatever that the family's eating, you know, because the dog will eat it, and
Oh yeah, sure.
the dog gets fat just like we do, and
And
potentially the
diabetes.
dog develops diabetes just like
Mm.
we do, and it goes through the exact same process as us, you know,
Yes, it is.
when you take it away from its not normal diet. That's where dogs are very similar to humans as well. They'll keep eating no matter how much you give them, right?
That dog is a funny one. Even the wild dogs, where the lion is funny. A lion, I always say, some animals seem to have morals, because a lion, man, if it's eaten, the juiciest warthog can walk past and say, "No, I'm fine, thanks. I'll see you in the morning." He won't kill for no reason. He won't. He goes full. Where the wild dog and dog says, "No, I don't care. If it's there, yeah, even if we explode, we'll try and eat it." Yeah, it's weird. Cats aren't like that. Yeah, cats are funny.
Yeah, but, you know, very similar to humans, you know, we'll keep going,
Oh,
right?
you keep on eating. I mean, I know myself. It's like, oh, I just had a meal, but anyway, thanks for the chips. Yeah, it just never stops. Yeah.
Yeah. But we can control ourselves when we're eating the proper human diet, right? It's
Yes,
or
we can
we
control.
don't need to control ourselves, we are controlled, right?
We can control, and we are controlled, but they are actually not as wrong when they talk about eating moderation. Uh, they just don't tell you what that means exactly. In my moderations, I have a chili every 6 months. That is moderation. I have a garlic on my meat once a year. That is moderation. Not okay, just half the garlic and eat it every day. No, that's not moderation. Yeah, and then when I started, and why when I started carnivore, and why I got the constipation is because I knew I couldn't ease myself. I think Professor Bart Kate talked about easing yourself into it. I don't know. That's not there. There is no half pizza. There is no half hamburger. I will eat the whole thing plus the coke with it. So I either do it or not and take the consequences. Well, I took the consequences. It wasn't earth-shattering consequences, but there was sometimes on the toilet where you started sweating. And but it passed and it was over. And but I knew it that moderation in that sense doesn't work. No, no. Moderation, yeah, have something you like every year or two. We have a German restaurant, and this year, this year for New Year's Day, I went there and I had an ice pie. Just the ice pie, no chips, no sauerkraut, nothing. I know it is fried in seed oil, but it survived it. Yeah, and okay, that was New Year. So we 9 months, 10 months in, I don't think it killed me. Yeah, so that is moderation. Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so how would you recommend people get started on carnivore?
Well, that depends so much on the person. If you can ease in, I suppose it would be beneficial to you. You won't have the problems I had. But if you know yourself and you can't do it, you will survive it. You just go happy go lucky, go into it, and you will survive it. You will have problems. I don't know, some people had diarrhea. I had exactly the opposite. And it lasts 4 to 6 months, and then it's just normal. It's just so it is very difficult. You have to know yourself. I'm not an easy inner. I can tell you that straight. That will not happen with me. Uh, you see, I was never hardly into the alcohol. I can have a beer with a friend, and that can happen once a month, maybe. I don't even have alcohol in the house. It's just not for me. Other people, you give them a beer, well, your whole fridge is gone, and you have to run to the bottle store. That's just not me. So moderation on that part is easy for me. Moderation on food wasn't that easy. No, because I was not addicted to any type of food. I was addicted to the convenience. We're talking a pizza. So I buy a pizza, and then you tell me how much I need half a pizza. That's not going to happen. That's no. So up to the person, but you will survive both ways. The carnivore diet is a very easy diet. I'm part of Facebook groups here. I try to assist in what I've learned and that. But some of the questions, I'm like, why? Every time it comes up, could you give me an eating plan? And I'm like, what eating plan? What do you want? It's meat. Yeah, it's like, what eating plan do you eat? Yeah, now she goes to work and she needs to work out an eating plan for 7 days. I'm like, yeah, cook meat. Yeah, like, and you get a bit offish. I think some people actually think I'm a little bit offish, but I sometimes don't understand the questions. That I just told you it's that dirty. You just eat meat. Yeah, like and and the and do I count? Well, the one actually spelled it wrong, and I had such a good answer to that. She wanted to know if I count my macros, but she wrote, "Do you count your macrons?" And I said, "No, I don't do French kids." Yeah, so she was a bit she was a bit taken aback by that. But I don't. I wouldn't even know what a macro is, to be honest. I never bothered with it, and not my thing. Yeah.
I think that's the best thing about carnivore really, is like you don't have to have a plan and you don't have to count anything. It just works.
Yeah, and it's so easy, and then carnivore is also listen to a lot of, especially in South Africa, you get some people on the coast and I'm inland, so obviously beef is more easy available. And that goes, on the guys from Cape Town on the West Coast, like, where do I get beef here? So, damn, you live on the ocean. How about some fish? Yeah. I mean, yeah, do you fish? Yeah, I go fishing every day. I think, well, then eat your fish. Yeah, it's animal. Yeah, and they're like, oh, is that the same? Yeah, yeah, it's an animal. Yeah, and don't sell your fish to buy a cow. No, if your fish is free, eat the fish. Yeah, my fish here is not free and definitely not fresh. Yeah, so I refrain from eating it because some of it smells a bit iffy. Yes, but no, it's funny that I wonder sometimes if these questions are not something to uh, get them not to start. To have I knew I shouldn't do it. That's the reason why. And I'm like, no, just go for it. A lot of people
I
start, a lot of people fall off there.
my theory about that kind of thing is that it's we are kind of the way we are marketed to from when we're young is that, someone is always selling us a plan for something. Someone's always selling us a switch for something. And so when you start anything new, you think I need to follow a plan. That's just, kind of what you imagine
Conditioning.
everything's going to be like. So,
Conditioning.
so conditioned. Yeah, exactly. That's the right word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, the best thing is it's the no plan. It's awesome. It's just
And the biggest thing about doing carnivore is that you don't overthink it. Carnivore means you eat meat or you eat animal based products. If you want 12 eggs a day, you eat your 12 eggs a day. You will find out if it's bad for you or not. Believe me, your body will tell you. Once you start puking in the toilet, then you know you had to make too many eggs. There is no, you're not going to kill yourself. Yeah, and I find this thing what will happen in the future. Especially here. some people, I mean, they can hardly walk. They're overweight. Their knees are giving in. They can't have a knee replacement because they're too fat here, and they just haul themselves around. And you mentioned carnivore, you should try it, and oh no, that will kill me. Like, you're half dead already. What the hell, yeah? And they don't see that, oh no, in the future. Well, you're not going to have a future. I'm amazed.
It's like, "Oh, but I can't. What about my cholesterol?" And it's like, "What about
Yeah,
your
yeah,
knees?"
yeah. I talked to a lady, I mean, and she's on crutches. I'm not lying to you. She must be over 200 pounds, yeah. And she wanted to go for a knee replacement, and they won't do it now because she's overweight. Apparently, you need a certain weight before and she tried now for a year to get it done now. And I mentioned to carnivore, and no, cholesterol, and I'm going to kill myself. Well, you're there already. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And it's amazing that they wouldn't even try, knowing that what they're doing now is, well, that's definitely a path to the grave. Yeah, amazing. But you know what? I laugh at these people, and I was there myself. Yeah, I was very skeptical about it. Yeah, and I think everybody was, and it is quite a leap of faith because of our conditioning of this meat is bad, and I mean, and you really have to look into the paleontology and as you mean into actually animal things, and that no, you're not killing yourself. This is actually true. Yeah. So, and it's a leap of faith, and you do it, and then you find out 2 years later, I'm fine. I am way too fine. I'm too fine for any doctor, that I can tell you. Yeah, doctor's worst enemy. I have not seen a doctor in 20 years. Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it's genetic or whatever. I'm just blessed with that maybe my cholesterol is wrong. I don't care. I don't know. Yeah. As I
Mhm.
say, I don't even know my blood group. I never. Funny enough, I was in the army and I must have been absent that day. I just maybe I can't remember, but wouldn't know my blood group. Yeah. Weird.
Right. So, if people wanna get in contact with the doctor's worst enemy, do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
I have a Facebook page. I don't do YouTube. I think I'm way too unscientific for everybody. I think I'm a little bit too cynical and a little bit too uh, short answered sometimes to questions. So I don't think I have much to offer in the sense of giving advice. But if they want to get a hold of me, please do. I'm on Facebook. They can. I actually opened an email, so they can get a hold of me there. It's meetandme66, one word, at gmail.com. So that is I left completely for carnivore questions and that. So yeah, they please,
Awesome.
if you have a question, if I can answer it, I'll try.
Well, I'll link to your Facebook and your email below, Thomas. Thank you so much for coming back on and letting us know how you're doing.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to try and do that once a year. But you're going to get tired of me by year 30, I think.